Facebook. We are getting our Instagram family as well as our um, Facebook family. Hopefully, we're able to do both. I am seeming to having a little trouble with my here we are. Instagram. We're going to get our Instagram family in. So do me a favor while you're joining this live, this broadcast, let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay. Let me know if this is your first time joining by putting a one in the comments. If this is your second time joining, put a two in the comments. If this is your third time and beyond joining, put a three in the comments. And all my threes show mad love to my ones and my twos to let them know that we are all here together on this Wednesday for our midweek What's Your I Can Live boost. I'm so excited to be in your presence to serve you on this lovely evening or afternoon or morning or night, whatever time of day it is where you are tuning in from. I'm super duper excited about all of you joining in on this lovely afternoon, evening, morning, again, night, whatever time of day it is that you're joining me from. So do me a favor, go ahead and share, hit that share button, tag someone, tag a bestie, tag an entrepreneur, tag a single mom, especially those that are in the BIPOC community. Listen, I don't know what's going on with my Facebook, my camera. If you guys are looking a little blurry to me, but let me know if you can see me clearly on Facebook. If so, drop that one in the comment or drop that heart in the comment so that I will know that you are able to see me clearly. I'm not sure what's going on. So for every person that is joining on YouTube, I welcome you to another What's Your I Can Live boost. You all, this is going to be your second time, I believe, joining me when you all do join in. And so we have been talking about realizing your I can and purpose business and family. For those of you that do not know me, I am Kristy Angelee, the Elite Single Mom Lifestyle Expert, CEO of Angelee Vision Reclaim Co. And I come to you every Wednesday, if the Lord says the same, to bring you your What's Your I Can Live boost to help you get that extra dose of inspiration, of idea, of encouragement, of strategy that you need to help you break through whatever business goal or parenting goal or personal goal that you may be in a place of stuck in, right? So we can all use a little bit of extra, encouragement, extra, strategy. But I would say we can all use that, but also given the right place where it's coming from, right? There is so much information out there. There is so much, y'all. Facebook, y'all are. I'm not sure. I don't like the way that's looking on Facebook. But y'all, there is so much information out there. There is so much knowledge. There is so much to glean and gain from. But I want you to know that being in the right atmosphere that will help you unlock everything within you, your personal development, your skills, your talents, the inventory that you have within you, everything that you need. You have to be in the right environment to be cultivated, to be nurtured, to be poured into, to be inspired, to be challenged, to be stretched, right? Something that I've been listening and learning to lately is that about your goals, even more delving into goals. If your goals do not stretch you, they are not goals. If they don't stretch you to the point of growth, if you've already purchased a car, you know how to purchase a car. It's just say you want a Pontiac and you already have a Pontiac. Well, that is not a goal, right? Because you already know how to get a Pontiac, right? A goal is reaching for something that is beyond you, that is going to grow you and stretch you, right? It's going to require that extra creative spark. It's going to require you to have a new desire, a change of heart. It's going to require you to dig deeper within yourself, because it takes something deeper and something greater. It takes something that is tucked away in your subconscious mind so that you can pull out for you in order to reach that greater level or that next level of goal that you're wanting. So we're going to be talking on, beautiful people. Listen, if you're joining for the first time, drop that one in the comments. If this is your second time and beyond, drop that two in the comments. If this is your third time joining me, please drop that three in the comments. Thank you, Jerome. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the compliments. Hey, Muhammad, thank you so much for joining me on this lovely, lovely afternoon. So we're going to make sure that we're doing all the things, tagging someone in the comments so that they can know that this is where you come to get your midweek boost. What's your I can, realizing your I can in purpose, business, and family, right? And so you're gathering here with me, and every time I go live, every time you join me in this space, every time you join me in the room, please, 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 you want to have a pen and a notepad so that you can take copious amounts of notes. Thank you so much, Guy Gamer. I thank you so much for the compliment. So you can take copious amounts of notes. Okay, so Facebook, I see you're coming in as well. Please drop that one in the comment if this is your first time joining me. Drop a 2 if it's your second time. Drop a 3 if it's your third time and beyond. And also let me know where you're tuning in from. Let each other know where you're tuning in from, what country, what city, what state that you're tuning in from, so that I can just, show mad love to all of you all on a greater level. So what we are going to be talking on today, I absolutely love this. Okay, I think this is going to help unlock you to reclaim your life of abundance on a greater level. So we are talking on today how I went from hidden to hired. Okay, we're going to be talking about that, and I pray that you see yourself. I pray that you can look at or listen to what I am sharing with you, and you see yourself where you are, where you may be stuck, where you may be lacking, where you may be limiting yourself, where you may be walking in ignorance, where you may not be using the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the resources that you are given to help you become the person that you see yourself being, the greatest version of yourself. Okay, so again, for every person that do not know me, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself again. I am Kristy Angelee. I am the founder of the WYIC Inner Circle, and today we're talking about a shift that so many of you are ready for. So many of you are ready for, and you just needed to know, like, what missing link do I need? What piece am I missing? I know there's something that I'm missing, and I just can't quite figure out what it is. The shift from overlooked to sought after. If this is you, drop that one in the comment. Let me know this is you. Are you feeling as if you are overlooked? The shift from overlooked to sought after. Okay, so from behind the scenes to front and center, from doing all the things and still not being seen. Is that you? You're doing all the things, okay, and you feeling like you're doing all the things well, but you're still not being seen. Okay, to being called, you want to go from doing all the things and still not being seen to being called, to be chosen and compensated for your calling. I believe that is the name of the game for many of you, to be compensated for your calling. But there's a lot of levels. I won't say a lot of levels. I'm going to say just at least 2 levels, right? That you need to break through in order for you to go from being hidden to hired. Now, I need to say this first. As I just mentioned, there's at least 2 levels, right? This conversation is not about being validated by man. I want you to know that, because you're already validated. When God created you, when he put you on this earth, he gave you everything that you need to be successful. He put wealth and riches in your home. He gave you everything that you need pertaining to life and godliness. He gave you everything you need to be creative, to be innovative, to be the next big thing, right? He gave you everything you need. So you don't have to look for validation from no one. No man, no person. You don't have to look for validation, because God has already validated you. It's about being positioned now, being positioned by God. For those of you that are faith-based, being positioned by God, positioning yourself, understanding, how do I now position myself in the right atmosphere, in the right spaces, with the right people, with the right information. When you're truly called, you're not just waiting, okay? I want you to hear me well. You're not just waiting on your moment. You're being developed for your mission. So you're not just waiting. So when you're truly called, you know these things. You are being developed for your mission. Okay. So have you ever felt like you're working hard, showing up, honoring God, and still being passed over? Is this you? Drop a, the little light bulb. Drop that little light bulb in the comments, right? If this is you, drop a light bulb. If you ever felt, or if you felt like, when is it my time? Have you ever allowed those thoughts to cross your mind? Have you ever felt that in your spirit? Have you ever spoke that to someone else, to your bestie, to your mom, to your spouse, whomever it is that is in close proximity to you, that you can kind of lean on for that extra security that you can? Number three, Crazy Ken, how are you? Number three, have you ever felt, thank you so much for joining, have you ever felt that way? When is it my time? And I know, like, I'm not alone in that. I've asked myself that some years ago. When is it my time? Right? So we're going to talk about really quick the myth of hiddenness. The myth, what does that look like? What is that talking about? The myth of hiddenness. We're going to reframe hidden seasons as divine development, not delay. Reframe hidden seasons as divine development, not delayed, not being overlooked, not being stepped over, not being rejected, but we're going to look at it as a seasons as divine development. You have to have that moment, that period of aligning yourself with that greatest goal that you have in mind, that image that you see, that vision that you see. You have to have a process of preparation. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much. I feel that way at times. So what do you do about that? And I pray that as you are listening in, you'll begin to unlock that idea of what do you need to do. So the first thing is, you want to reframe. That's one of the greatest ways to move from being having that negative feeling of being hidden and overlooked, or asking that question, when is it my time? It is by reframing it, having a goal in mind, having your greatest goal. What is that one thing that if it happens today, that it will change your life? It will change the next, 3 months, the next 6 months, the next year for you. So having that goal in mind. So let's be real. Okay, can I talk to you real for a moment? This idea that you're hidden because no one sees you, that's not always accurate. And we try our hardest to do so much on social media, so much in our workplace, so much in our, community, even in our family. Sometimes we can feel like we are hidden even in our family, right? And we try to start, some people start acting out, some people start, changing their identity so that they can be seen. They want to have all of this uniqueness about themselves, changing their appearance, maybe, and saying, maybe if I behave in this manner, if I wear these clothing, if I speak like this, if I, show up in this way, then I will be recognized for my hard work. I'll be recognized for the contributions that I make. I'll be recognized for my genius. I'll be recognized as being a father, as being a mother, as being someone that contributes to my society, right? Then I'll be recognized. No, that's not always accurate. You're not hidden because no one sees you. Sometimes you're hidden. I'm going to drop this real quick on you. Sometimes you're hidden because you're being developed. Okay? Sometimes you're hidden because you are being developed. Okay? You're in the quiet grind that others can't see, but heaven sees. The atmosphere sees what you're putting in, what you are speaking, the frequency that you're on, the vibration. It sees, it hears, it feels, right? So you're not hidden because you're not worthy or you are not important. You're hidden because you're being developed. Sometimes you have to steal away. Sometimes you have to be taken to a place so that you can be worked on outside of the noise, in the quiet, in the secret, in the not so good spaces as we're feeling the discomfort of or feeling hidden. You're in the quiet grind again. You're not invisible. You're in the incubation. And I want you to say that to yourself. I want you to speak that I am in my incubation phase. I'm not hidden. I am in my incubation. And here's the truth no one talks about that I want to share with you and I want to talk with you on. Okay? Here's the truth. You can be gifted and still not visible. We have highly gifted people. We have those that are brilliant, and you are brilliant as well. Okay, I want you to know that you are brilliant as well. You can be gifted and still not visible. You can be anointed. So I want you to understand, it's not about your education. It's not about your just how skilled and gifted you are, not about how anointed you are. It's not about any of these things, because you can be all of these things, all of those things, and still, right? And still not be visible. But when the time is right, you won't have to fight for the room. You'll be sent to it. There is this saying that your gift will make room for you. And that is dependent upon your actions. That is dependent upon your attitude. That is dependent upon the way that you align yourself with the goals that you have, or with your goal, with your vision, with your dream, and the people that you're allowing to pour into you, the environment you're allowing to shape you. So that is highly dependent upon you. If you want a different result, change you. The results are directly influenced. Your results, what you are seeing now, if you are in financial distress, right? Everybody is rich. You're just short of money. you How can I say that? How can I say that every person is rich? How? And you're looking at like, I don't have a dime in my bank. My bank account is in red. I pull out my pockets and there's lint, right? I'm only making this amount of money. I'm going to say this, that I can say that you're rich and that you're wealthy because, one, I connect everything to what the word of God says, right? He says wealth and riches are in your home. Oh my gosh. So I just let you know that you're wealthy and that you're rich. And you're probably looking around your home like, I do not see it. It's just hidden. You have not yet tapped into it. Ignorance has caused you to, be oblivious to what's in your possession, right? Wealth and riches are in your home. I like that word, reframe. This is motivating you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that it's speaking to you. So yeah, we got to reframe our thinking. We have to switch our negative to positive and change your I can't to I can. And when you speak in the negative, then all you are attracting is the negative, and you will never see what you are capable of doing and who you are and when it's the appropriate time. So I want to share this with you. I want to share some faith insights with you. David was anointed in the field before he ever stepped foot in the palace. David was anointed in the field before he ever stepped foot in the palace, right? And so there is this amazing, brilliant guy, he has long gone, named Napoleon Hill, and he was tutored under Andrew Carnegie. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but the American way we say it is Carnegie. So he was mentored by him, and so before he was mentored by Andrew Carnegie, he was asked this question by him. He said, if you were giving the opportunity to work on a project that was going to take 20 years, but you weren't going to get compensated, nobody was going to know who you were, you weren't going to be stipend or anything until 20 years later, would you do it? What would your response be, right? And so within 29 seconds, right, he asked him if you would do it. He said yes. And so what he did was, because he said yes, he took him under his wing. He told him that he wanted to write a book. He wanted Napoleon Hill to write this book. And so Napoleon Hill took on the project, and he was taught, and Andrew said, well, I'm not going to give you any money for it. I'm not going to give you anything while you're doing the book. You're going to have to pave your own way. You're going to have to work for your money. But what I am going to give you is the connections that I have. I'm going to set you up with the some of the wealthiest people. At this point in time, Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest man in America. He was from Scotland. All right. It came to America. Came from poverty, all the things, and he built the greatest empire. If you've heard of the Carnegie Hall and the Carnegie Steel Company, all the things, right? And so he said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set you up with the right people, these people of wealth, so that you can learn the laws of success. And so out of that came one of the greatest books of all time, Think and Grow Rich. So these are your faith insight. He was hidden 20 years before he became a multi-millionaire, because he wrote that book. Jesus performed no miracles for 30 years, and then in 3 years fulfilled his entire earthly mission. Okay, God's timeline does not run on social media's clock or on you're comparing yourself to any other person or your environment, or people who say, well, you should be here by now, right? You should be at this. They are putting you in a timeline that is not really your timeline, right? So we're going to talk about the shifts that moved me from hidden to hired. What moved me from hidden to hired? I'm excited about this. Okay, so I shifted from performance to purpose. These are the 3 shifts. First, I shifted from performance to purpose. And what does this mean? I stopped doing what looked good. I stopped doing what looked good on social media. I stopped doing what looked good to those that are, in my proximity, what they felt about it, what they thought about it, what they, how they looked at whatever project that I was working on, whatever business entity that I was building. I stopped doing what looked good and started aligning with what God actually called me to do. And so you have to know what you have been put on this earth to do. Your God-given assignment. Everybody was sent to this earth with a God-given assignment. What are your hands good at? What are you good at doing? Right? I stopped saying yes out of guilt, right? Sometimes we say yes because, oh, I don't want anybody to feel bad. I don't want to cause anyone to be offended. So we do a lot out of guilt, out of compulsion, rather than just willing to do it. And this is what I do because I do it because I feel this is my calling. I'm serving when I do this. So I have to switch from performance to purpose, right? And I stopped saying yes and started saying yes from God-led strategy. Started saying yes from things that align with my vision, align with my purpose, align with who I am, right? Align with the people that I serve, align with, again, my God-led strategy. And that changed everything when I shifted from performance to purpose. So if this is you, if you are in a space of where, like, wow, I'm trying to perform, I'm on my job and I'm trying to perform at my highest level because, I want them to see me. I want them to be pleased with what I'm doing. First of all, you have to step back and say and realize that if you're working harder on your job than you are on yourself, then you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. You would never be the success that you want to be if you are working harder on your job than you are on yourself. Okay, so I shifted from silence to strategy. That's number 3. That's the third thing. I shifted from silence to strategy. Are y'all following? Are you following me? Are you rocking with me? Let me know in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you're following me. So what does this look like? I wasn't being seen because I wasn't being clear. You are not being seen because you haven't clearly defined your You haven't clearly defined your vision. You haven't clearly defined your goal. I want to make a lot of money. That's your goal. That's not a goal. That's not a goal. You have to be more specific than that. What is a lot of money? What is a lot of money? What is a lot of money for you? You have to have a specific goal in mind, being clear. Okay. I want to be healthy. What does that mean? What does that look like? Okay. All right. So you have this vague goal. So you haven't clearly defined your goal. I refined my message, my mission, and my methods. I showed up not just emotionally. So I had to do these things. I had to refine some things, fine tune some things. And I kept having to sit. I had to have thinking moments, silence to strategy. Right. I had to have thinking moments. I had to have moments where I would sit and I thought about the person, my greatest, my highest level, and what she was doing. Imagining myself, being applauded. Why are people applauding me? What am I contributing? What am I doing that causes the standing ovations, right? I had to sit and I have to think. And what are those things that are limiting me, holding me back from reaching that greatest and that highest level of self, right? So once I began to sit and I thought about these areas of my life, right? Then I had to refine my message, my mission, and my methods. I showed up not just emotionally. You can't be emotional. You not just emotionally, but professionally and prophetically. That is one of my gifts. Prophetic, right? God gives me the gift to be able to speak into the people lives. So I had to fine tune myself based off of my strengths. I have to know those things. So another thing, and the third one is I shifted from wishing to walking in it. Sometimes your goals without an action is just wishful thinking. If you have a goal and you haven't put any action behind it, you're just wishful thinking. So I shifted from wishing to walking in it. And I thought it just took another mindset, a mind shift, because you can think that you are walking in it, right? Sometimes we sit back and we do nothing at all, like, okay, I'm just gonna let things come to me. And you have this goal and you just say, I want to make $1 million. Have you sat down and you really looked at how many weeks and how much money a week I need to make so that I could reach my $1 million by the end of the year, right? And annually, right? So if you want to reach $1 million, there's at least 5 different breakdowns on how you can reach $1 million. Okay, each week, look at the weeks. You could do 50,000, a week for 50 weeks, right? You could do what? I think I said 50,000. You can do actually 20,000. Let me take that back. You could do 20,000 for 50 weeks and you can reach your $1 million for the year. You can do 40,000, for 25 weeks. And you could just keep looking at the numbers and seeing what it takes for you to reach your goal, breaking it down, and then you start walking in it. And when you're walking in it, that means you're allowing, okay, maybe this job, or you heard what somebody said come back to mind, and then you start, okay, let me look into that. Let me look into that. Let me do this because this is my goal. You have clearly defined what you wanted. Now you have to allow yourself to start walking in it. I stopped praying for open doors while standing still. Some of us are standing still and praying for open doors. You have to move. I built, I invested, I connected, I created systems, not just dreams. Create systems, not just dreams. Which one of these shifts is God highlighting for you today? 1, shifting from performance to purpose. 2, shifting from silence to strategy. Or 3, shifting from wishing to walking in it. Where do you see yourself? I want you to type that in the comments. I want you to type 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Crazy, I see you put silence to strategy. Okay, so we're moving on and we're going to get ready and close. As we These are the exact principles I bring into the WYC Inner Circle. I built this space for the woman, for the single mom who's not afraid to grow, the single mom who's building an empire while raising leaders. How you doing over there on Facebook? Are y'all following me? What you put in the comments? 1, 2, or 3? The single mom who's not afraid to grow, the single mom who's building an empire while raising leaders, the faith-led woman who knows she's got something inside but needs clarity, support, and strategy. And if you're not a single mom, you may be a guy, but you can also grab hold to the tools and the mindset shift that I also provide, free tools and all these things like this live that I'm doing, just making sure that you are getting the gems that you need to reclaim your life of abundance as well. I want to talk to the faith-led woman who knows she's got something inside but needs clarity, support, and strategy. So inside we cover things like character and mindset, spiritual freedom, creating your physical reality, emotions, relationships, vision, purpose. This month, it is our social life plan, understanding how to create our social life plan. It's a space to grow, heal, lead, and launch. It's $20 a month because I wanted this space. I wanted this to be accessible but transformational. It's time for more women to be hired in heaven for what they're called to do on earth, right? Is it time for you to be hired in heaven for what they're called to do on earth? If you're ready to step into your hired season, I want you to DM me hired or drop that fire check and I'll send you the link. Okay? So, before I go, I want to remind every person that is watching on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. Hello, everybody. We are in 3 places. I'm super duper excited about that. So you guys get to go on my YouTube channel and check out more motivation, inspirational, messages for those of you that are not connected with me on YouTube and want to know more about me, want to get more content. You could go on YouTube and get more content. I have a podcast as well. If you want to get more content from my podcast as well on YouTube, it's Kristy Angelee. And if you're not connected with me on Instagram, I want you to jump on Instagram to connect with me on Instagram. It's at I am Kristy Angelee on Instagram. That way you can get even more than what you don't get on YouTube. Okay, so we have many connection points here. We have many touch points so that you can reclaim your life of abundance. But I want to remind you that you're not behind. If you're feeling like you're behind, I want you to know that you're not behind. You are not too late. Okay? Every single mom that is feeling as if you are behind and too late, I want you to lean in. I'm moving a little closer so that you can hear me. I'm coming a little closer so that you can see me. I'm coming a little closer so that you can know that we can connect. And I want you to know that you are not too late. You are not too late. Okay, you're right on time for God's plan. You are right on time for God's plan. I want you to know that. Okay, but this is a working season. This is a working season. No sitting still. And you're probably like, I've been working. I'm tired. I don't know what else to do. You're in the right space. And when you join the WYIC Inner Circle, you'll be in the right community. Okay, not a waiting season. You're working, not waiting. God can't steer a parked car. God cannot steer a parked car. So move, build, believe again, and surround yourself with other women who don't just shout amen, but actually take action. You want to surround yourself with other people. You want to have like-minded people that are not saying like-minded. Let me help you. not seeing like-minded and they're in the same space you're in. Okay, you want like-minded people who have been where you are and they are making or living the life that you desire to live. They're living the life that you want, you see for yourself. That is like-minded people. That is a type of, birds of the feather flock together that we want to be a part of. Not like-minded people where you can't ask them for $1,000 because they don't have $1,000, and they can't ask you for $1,000 because you don't have $1,000, right? To start a business, to finish that course, to finish that project, whatever the case may be. So you don't want to hang around broke people that are in the same boat that you're in. You don't want to listen to people who are in the same predicaments that you are in. No matter how good of advice it may be, is it working for them? Why not? You can take the advice, but it may work. But you want to be with people that you can ask. Okay, they're giving you the advice, but they also allowing you to tap into something further and say how the mechanics. That's what I want to say. They give you the mechanics of it, how it's working, why it's working, and you can apply it to your life if you just follow these rules. If they tell you do what I do what I say and what I do, okay? If they can tell you that and what they said and what they're doing is in alignment, then you have struck gold. Okay, that's what the WYIC Inner Circle is for. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. Trust me, I know these things. It's in the atmosphere. You just have to position yourself so that you can enter those rooms. Your name has been spoken. Why haven't I, entered those rooms yet? Because you haven't aligned yourself to that in that space so that you can enter into those doors. Okay, so you got to prepare for the calling. Remember, prepare for the call. So you're not hidden, you're being developed. You're not hidden, you're being positioned. You have to prepare for the calling. You want to be hired? Prepare to be hired. How do I prepare to be hired? We teach you more about that inside the WYIC Inner Circle. Okay, so Isaiah 60:1, for those of you that are faith-based, I want to close with this, right? Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is your arise season. This is your arise season. Let's walk it out together. I love you all. Have a blessed day.